What's good, everybody? This is Averna Official. I'm here to give you a couple tips and pointers on how to basically self-produce yourself on Logic Pro X. This is a beginner thing, okay? I'm going to try to break it down as easy as I can, all right? Now, this is GarageBand. If we go over to Logic Pro X, this is usually what's going to come up first things first whenever you get the software, okay? So, when you come here at this point in time, you have the option to click on Software, Instrument, Audio, Drummer, External MIDI, Guitar, and Bass. Now, what I highly recommend is you're going to need an interface, okay? You're going to need an interface, and they look like this. Oh, not that one's mine that I have right now, but this specifically, like, just to show you, it has a mic input, has a guitar input, has another 1/4-inch insert over here, okay? So basically for this, like, if you're not using a microphone or you're just using a MIDI keyboard, you might be able to just not have to use this. You could just use it where it's a MIDI out and then it plugs in USB into your laptop or whatever you're using. But if you're going to be using a microphone to record, unless it's a USB mic, this is the way to go. You need one of these, okay? Now, the reason you use one of these is because it'll add gain, it'll add clarity to your vocals. Now, the better interface you have, the more clarity your vocals are going to sound, okay? Like, I use the Apollo Twin Quad. This has been amazing. It has its own software, okay? This is what the console looks like. And you can, like, buy plugins within this own software, which is great. I got this new auto-tune one. It's just so fantastic. But anyway, let me get back to this whole thing. With the interface involved, I go over here to my output device and my input device. I click on this, right? It'll show you this. Now, for output and input, I use the interface to do this. Now, if you have a set of speakers, right? If you have a set of speakers, they plug in here. You have like speaker cables that come out here, and you basically plug them in left and right, right? And that's what I use. So for all of my audio on my entire laptop, I'm using this thing for my speaker control, okay? Not only just recording. All right, so if I go back here to Logic Pro, I go input and output device is gonna be this, all right? Forget about that for right now. If you go here, say you have your interface already set up, okay, and you click it in, you make sure it picks up over here, you click audio, boom, okay? Now, you're over here, you should get your mic input, mic input gain. Now, if you're going to be recording, you need to click this button, okay? That's when it'll pick up on you, okay? And depending on whether or not you already know what you're doing for this recording stuff, if you find yourself getting a lag when you're talking into the microphone, or when you click this record button and you find a lag, what I find that you need to do is you got to go to Preferences, okay? You go to Audio. Now, under Audio, if you click General, you got to make sure low latency mode is on. If low latency mode is off, okay, you might hear like a split second off in your recording, and that's important. You want to make sure that's not happening, so you just get like real time on here. Now, again, if you're doing low latency mode, you might bypass all of your plugins that you have running in the background, such as reverb or channel EQ or whatever you're doing. Okay, you're gonna bypass that just so you can get low latency. However, when you turn off this button when you're done recording, okay, you'll hear it with every plugin, with all the compressors and everything that you want to have done, okay? If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll get into that in 1 second, okay? So, when you're recording with your audio here, all you got to do is basically click this on. You're going to click the record button. Now, depending on what kind of BPM you want, okay, this is what gives you like that 1, 2, 3, 4 click sound in your headphones when you're doing it, okay? You can change this down even if you're super slow. You see how that's changing in speed? That's what you're going to use as a metronome, okay? And if you're recording, say you want a 1, 2, 3, 4 click before you even start recording, you got to click that, all right? So it gives you like a 4 count before you even start recording. You see that? Then it starts. That's important too, okay? Now, cool things first, I'll show you X. If you click the button X, boom, all of a sudden you get your little master control here, okay? Master control, you can control everything. You got a stereo out. Stereo out is basically how you're going to be recording. It's going to be your master volume, okay? Your master volume, everything is going to lead to this channel, okay? Now, over here, I'll show you the plugins on here. It's pretty cool. Oh, look at this. I got all recent ones, but like, you got all of these different things that's going to be your plugins. These are important because when it comes to recording your vocals, okay, when it comes to recording your vocals, you want to make sure that you want them to sound the way you want them to sound, like as a producer, okay? I'll show you what channel EQ looks like. This is what you're going to have to throw on your stuff, on your vocals. Besides like compression, you're going to have to basically go up in here and choose all of the sounds that make it the right sound for you. You get what I'm saying? Going here, you got metering. Basically, you can do BPM counter. You got modulation. All this stuff here is important. You're just gonna have to go through this. Now, what I find is when I record my vocals on any track, all right, what I do is I basically click my thing here, record one track. If I want to double it, right? So I doubled the track now. I just click this. That's just like copying over the same track. The same. You see how the plugin stayed there? So now what I did was, when I go here, if I want to double over on the track and make it sound full as hell, I go here, I go to imaging, okay, and I go to stereo spread. Trust me, this makes a hell of a difference, okay? Like a hell of a difference on headphones, even just me hearing it right now, just clicking on it. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick up on it because it's recording through GarageBand, but right now, like, my vocals sound spread. Like, it sounds on both sides of the headphones. It sounds really nice, okay? So, like, when you're doubling, I 100% say that you got to use this to double it. You will not regret it. This is a crazy dope sound when you're doing it, okay? Now, I'm going to turn these off. I'm going to turn all this off. Now, say you're like, but yo, Brad, I don't have a microphone yet. I'm not even interested in using a microphone yet. I just want to be able to record my MIDI keyboard on this stuff, right? You go, okay, you go over here. What you're going to click on is software instrument, all right? Click on software instrument. You should be able to just automatically get picked up. Like, if you just turn on your MIDI keyboard and you plug it in USB into your thing here, I'll show you exactly what it's going to look like, okay? If I plug this in USB and I click software instrument, right? Nothing's going to come up yet, but when I turn it on, something should pop up right here saying MIDI controller. Wait for it. Boom. Change number of MIDI input outputs, so it's automatically picking up on it, okay? There you go. Boom. Now if I go here, okay, what you're gonna see is I'm probably gonna, yeah, I got signal. So I got signal from doing this, okay? Now, if you don't have a MIDI keyboard, right? Say I unplug this guy, boom. Okay, I just lost it, okay? If I don't have that, what you can do in the meantime is hold Command and then K. Okay, if you hold Command K, you have a little keyboard. Now look, I'm getting signal there, okay? And I have a little piano. Now it's not obviously convenient because it's like you can't play as if it's a full piano, but it's still a keyboard that you can mess around with and you can use that for beats and whatnot, okay? Software instrument, I'm gonna go to like, look at all these things too. You want to know what I use, to be honest? Sampler. I use a sampler, and the sampler's crazy. Alright? Here we go, this guy. Oh, stereo. Alright, I'll use that. So when I click on that, here's what comes up. I have my samples already on here. If I click this, I'll show you what's good with this. This is for samples. If you got like, you got sample sounds that are just saved on your laptop, you can go anywhere basically online and just basically download percussion packs and whatnot, okay, and you'll get like nice cool sounds. Like if you have like a favorite artist or something, find out who the producer is. If you got like Metro Boomin or something like that, whatever, you'll be able to like download the little sample packs that you find online, and then you can get their samples in your media, okay? So when you go over here, check this out. You go all the way over here on this thing, boom, you got your media. Okay. Now you drag over from your downloads the whole pack, the percussion pack. Boom. You throw it in here. Like I got a Suicide Boys kit on here. It's sick as hell. And you got all these different sample sounds. Now, when you have those sample sounds, you go into this thing. You click Edit, and I'm pretty sure Edit should show up. If it's not there, there was a way to get that to work. You just gotta look up how to use this specific sampler. You just look up EX-S24 and see how they're using the samples. It's pretty simple, but I'll give it to you real quick. Ready? You click Edit, boom, this shows up, right? So all of a sudden you're like, all right, well, I got all these sounds over here on this media thing, right? I want to bring it in. I want to bring it in here. Boom. Next thing you know, it's all the way in here. And then when you play on the keyboard, like I hear a snare sound right now. Okay. So that's how it works. And then basically from there, you go like this. Boom. It says save. Yeah, click save. I don't want to save it, but you click save, right? And then once you have it saved, you'll have it come up underneath these things. Okay. So this is what I use for my samples. Now, say you're recording, right? Say I make this, I don't know, 150, right? And like, so I'll get the metronome going like that, right? 3, 4, okay? Okay. Now my MIDI recorded is just recorded there, okay? And I use that little keyboard, okay? Now say I go in here, right? And you're like, okay, hold up, let me get rid of this. Go in here, right? All of a sudden you're like, yo, a couple of my drums are off, man, right? I command all that. Over here is quantize. If you're quantizing your stuff, it's gonna put it in time, basically in time with your BPM, so it's not gonna sound offbeat ever. Click that, boom, you see that? Now, everything's gonna be on time. You can do 16th notes, you can do 32nd notes, depends on what kind of beat you're going for. You can play around and like, it'll fix itself. See, like mine, I didn't need 16 notes, I needed 8 notes, boom. See how it's all fresh now? So that's basically what you're gonna be able to do for recording with your MIDI keyboard, okay? And like, again, Logic Pro comes up with a lot of different sounds. If we go here, okay? I basically say like, I don't need alchemy, but say we're here, and go all the way through all of these things, okay? And they're always updating, like I'm always getting new sounds. See these little download things? I'm always getting new sounds from Logic. They're like, yo, you can download new instruments, new that, new this, whatever. Like electronic drum kit, like you don't even need some of the sample packs if you're just gonna be using these things, man. Like they all have like things built in. You just same thing, Command K, boom, boom, boom. You get all these different sounds. You don't even need to download any of the samples. Okay. But if you're in here, you might as well. Now, what I love going on synth bass. Okay. If I'm making a trap beat or something, I'm going to synth bass. I'm going to the trap over here. Trap bass, boom. Okay. What I find is also pretty sick is that if you go here, I basically like add another plugin. I add distortion. Go into the distortion section here and start playing around with your drive. Basically, if you start playing around with your drive here, it'll add like a nice crazy 808 sound to it, make it a little more harsh, okay, than just like a simple synth bass. All right. So basically, that's how you're gonna be making tracks. I mean, it's very simple. As long as you have like an interface and a MIDI keyboard, this is gonna become very simple, very quickly. Okay, it's not as hard as it seems. You just have to basically explore all of the fun things that are inside of this. All right. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean that's all you're gonna really need to know to basically record something. When you're done recording, if you want to go in, what Logic does have now though, if you're recording your vocals, right? If I record for the sake of just recording my vocals on this, right? It should come up, blah 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 blah, right? I go like this, I zoom in, I can click on this thing now, okay? Double click on your track of your vocals. You don't even need the auto tune necessarily. Like what I have this thing, which is auto tune real time. So on the mic itself, it'll auto tune. And then I basically go in second hand and I go into here, I click on this thing, okay? So I want to flex for my audio track 1. Turn on flex, right? I go over here, I go to flex pitch, boom. As soon as I click flex pitch, I got my notes for my vocals. Like my vocals are picking up as little notes on a key, right? If you know what key you're in, you could set it here. Right here to pitch correct, okay? That's important. You gotta know some sort of music theory kind of to figure out what you gotta auto-tune yourself to. You gotta figure out what key it's in, okay? I love doing minor scales. Say you're in a major key or something, whatever. Say I go to C, you're on C major now, right? You go, okay, great. You know what? No, let's make it C minor. Screw it, right? You go to pitch correction, boom, 100%, okay? Make sure everything's highlighted. You go like that. Make sure it's all like that. Now, say like this is gonna sound out of whack because it's not within this little block. So if I go in here, specifically this one, I bring the vibrato down like that. It should fit inside the key. So that's like a little trick to auto-tune your vocals correctly while you're trying to put it all in key, okay? Now, that should be basically it for like understanding how to record this 101. If you want to bounce your track when you're done, okay, so you got your little recording, you're all done now, okay? You want to be like, hey friends, I want to show you my MP3 and put it on your phone or your iPod, whatever you're freaking doing. Okay, you go over here, go to file, you go to bounce, okay? Project or section. Now, what I do is I memorize where it's ending, like which which section over here it's ending at. Okay, if I zoom in, right? Say I'm like, okay, it ends at 17. I'll go 1, 1, 1. Okay, make sure you're on 1, 1, 1. Go to 17 here. Now, what's important, okay, is basically, do you want it as a WAV file? You know, look at the different options. You got AIF, CIF. WAV file is the most common high quality file, okay? Or you got MP3, or you got both. See how you can check both of these, okay? Let's say you're like, nah, I just want an MP3, I just want to bounce the MP3, because it's a way smaller file, right? So you try to balance this guy. This is all you got to do. Now, normalize, you can have it on or off. I basically have it off because I find that I can get louder. I can get a louder recording to bounce if I click this off. Okay. However, if you're clipping, you should probably put it on. You shouldn't be clipping. I'll go into details in other videos on basically how to prevent yourself from clipping on a bounce. Okay. But for the most part, if you're not clipping, click normalize off. You don't need it. Okay. And bounce it as either a WAV file or an MP3 file, depending on what kind of quality you're trying to get out. Like if you're trying to put something on Spotify, you gotta 100% bounce it as a WAV file and send it to a mastering guy or something, or whatever you're doing. But make sure you have a WAV file that you're submitting into SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, any of that stuff. Okay. So if you use that and you go like this and you click bounce and everything's good, it should just perfectly run through. It'll save on your desktop. It'll ask you where you want to save it at. See, you just basically save it to your desktop, whatever, and then you're done. Okay, and then that's how basically you get recording done 101 real fast with Logic Pro X. You just gotta make sure you have the basics down, and you should be good. I know I'm all over the place, but I'll go into detail about different things later. If you guys want to comment below and let me know what I'm missing or what you want to find out about, I'll make videos for anything. You just gotta let me know. All right. All right. Have a good day, my guys. On the low, don't goes to buy an island off the coast where nobody knows, so we can truly grow and take it slow. Cause I fuck with you the most, yeah, I fuck with you the most, and they know. Yeah, she's spinning around my head, yeah, spinning round and round again, yeah. Remember first time you said that you want me in your bed, but you took my honesty, yeah. Could give a fuck about nobody else. Could give a fuck about nobody else. That's the truth, they don't know.